What up? What up? Hello to all four of you at the time. Thank you for joining me on this live. I'm sure we'll have a few more people come through. So I'm just gonna stall until somebody either types something in or more people come. I'm not seeing my chat box, and I'm not sure if it's because people haven't said anything or because I'm just not seeing my chat box. Hmm. So I don't know. Hold on. Yeah, live chat. Okay, cool. I don't need to learn more. No. Somebody type something in to make sure that I can see my chat box. Okay, cool. Ashley, got you. Okay, Rebecca, cool. Okay, I couldn't tell if it was glitching or not. Hey, what's up? What's up? What's up? So, as per usual, I don't have a whole lot scheduled. I just wanted to come and talk to y'all and be available to whoever might not have gotten a question answered the last time. So, once these questions start rolling in, I'll start talking about stuff. Until then, I guess I can give you guys an update on what's going on. Um, I finished a book project recently that will be coming out very soon. I finished a dating program. I'm still working on the dating program, but most of that is coming along. Like I said, the book is done. The dating program is in process, and a lot of that stuff will be up very, very soon for you guys who absolutely need it. Um, yeah. Rebecca Teller said hi. How you doing? Mama May I Scorpio, hi. Star Dolores, hi. Melissa Subi, uh, Pearl Girl, everybody, what's going on? Tamika Vega, that's a cool last name. Taylor, Elia, Gabrielle, Leash, Lie. Wow, I missed it. It's just my chat box is doing this. Okay, so I guess we got enough to start. I said hello from Tokyo. What's up, Usha? Hello from Tokyo, or hello from Ohio, should I say? Um, yeah, I didn't even expect to go live tonight. I guess I cleared up a little bit early and decided to just say what's up to y'all. Anyway, let's get into it. Um, Somebody said, "Where do you think young males learn to play?" Hmm. Young males learn to play. That's a good. Judith Tennant just asked me that question. Young males learn to play from watching other young males do it successfully, and other young women what they respond to. I didn't learn to play from, like, I didn't have a guy giving me horrible advice on how to treat women when I was coming up. I just seen guys treat women horribly, and it worked. And then I seen women respond to horrible treatment, and it worked. Most young men only do what they know works. If the standard to impressing women was respecting them, then all men would do it. But the standard to impressing most of the women that at least we see in our media and major outlets that create a narrative, the standards that they have are very lackadaisical, or just non-existent. And so when young men are in middle school and early high school, they start to watch their classmates, the young girls, deal with guys who don't treat them very well at all, and respond to it and chase them. They learn from through observation and trial and error that being nice, being polite, being too respectful, being too honorable to a woman doesn't get them the same results as being dismissive, being emotionally unavailable, or pretending to be, being outright disrespectful. I've seen a lot of women respond very well to disregard from a man. So young men learn to play from watching other young males play, and play well and play successfully, and they watch other female and watch young women just respond to stuff that they shouldn't be responding to. So women actually have more to do with how they're treated than they like to believe sometimes. I think in general, culture is depicted, um, Culture is a depiction of who we are. It's a mirror, and the culture of women being treated a certain way is a mirror to what they respond to and what they're impressed by, what they've always given credence to. If women stopped respecting men who treated women badly, or played with a lot of women, or dated a lot of women, if women stopped responding to that, and the standard became monogamy, the standard became respect and honor. And that's what guys will offer. But right now, the standards to get the most women, right? Because a lot of women don't respond to dishonor. A lot of women respond to the right things. Most women do. But the ones that we see, the ones that have the highest profiles, aren't responding to that. And so, like I said, if women just learn to train themselves to be more impressed by things that matter in a man's character, and then in a man's integrity and things of that nature, I feel like they will get a lot better results. And the culture, the pool of dating that directly surrounds them would probably be a lot less tainted if the men around them seen women respond to better things. But again, it's not all their fault, but yeah, guys learn to play by watching players. That's a long answer to a very short question. Thank you for the question, though. I appreciate you. Let me see. Somebody said, I finally caught alive. Hello, what's up, Patience Norman? Hello. Somebody said, what makes a guy lose interest in you? A plethora of things. A man may lose for the same reasons that women lose interest in men. A guy can lose interest in a girl. If she's too easy of a target, if she doesn't seem to have enough self-respect, if she doesn't seem to hold herself in high enough regard, if she's too clingy, if she doesn't talk enough, if she talks too much, if she's not interesting, if she doesn't have any ambition, like the same things that you guys are looking for, women, I'm sorry, ladies, same thing that you ladies are looking for in men, there's a guy looking for similar things in a woman. And so a guy can lose interest for, like I said, a plethora of reasons. Guys are human at the end of the day, and we all want, basically the same things. We want to be happy. We want someone who matches up well with us. We want someone who has something to offer us, someone who completes a part of us that we feel that we may be incomplete. Who completes a part of us that we feel we may be incomplete in. We want somebody to kind of tie up our loose ends or balance us. And men are looking for the same thing. So predominantly, if a guy doesn't feel like you're a good match for him, he'll lose interest. Also, if you have sex with the guy too soon, or if you stunt the growth in any way of your emotional connection or psychological connection with physical activities, then a guy might lose interest in you because you've taken his anticipation away. Women need to understand something, and I think many do, but for those of you who don't, I should probably say this. Anticipation is your biggest weapon in the game. Once a man doesn't have to anticipate what it's like to be with you, or anticipate what it's like to spend time with you, and or be inside you, or have sex with you, or whatever. Once you take his anticipation away, if you haven't already proven your worth to him outside of sex, once you give him sex, you don't have anything left to prove. Like that's your one card in the game for a man who's only interested in sex. You can actually trick a guy who just wants sex into considering more than that if you play your cards right sexually. But most women, when they get a guy they know wants sex, to impress him, to keep him around, they give him the sex, and then he didn't have anything else to work for. It's like getting your paycheck on the first day on the job, like on the first day of a temp job. You're supposed to work 2 weeks or 30 days before you get your first paycheck, and this is your only contract. And instead, if you get paid after you do the work, you get paid the first day, and you just go home. Why would you ever come back if you already got paid and you don't have anything left to gain from the job? That's kind of like some of those guys. They don't see you as a person that they can get to know, a person that they can grow with, a person that they can connect with. All they see is a conquest. And if you're trying to make them see more in you by making love to these guys and the best way you can, to them it's just effing. No matter what you're trying to do, it's just effing. And so you can't F your way into a cold heart. You just can't. It's just not a thing. And so guys lose interest for that in large part. But like I said, it's a plethora of reasons. People all want what they want. And hold on, time out. Somebody just put up a block comment. I want to make sure it's not particularly bad. Okay, this isn't bad. I don't know why they blocked you. Maybe you're on my block list. You might have hated another video. I don't know. Somebody said, I'm texting this guy. He texts me good morning and good night text every day and texts me all day and we hang out. He sacrificed sleep time and gas, doesn't talk about sex, but acts like he's interested. Um, but acts like he's interested and like I'm just a friend. He might be afraid of you. He seems to be spending all his resources and trying to impress you and trying to entertain you. But if he's not making a move, he probably is a bit intimidated. He's probably scared to mess up whatever he thinks the relationship is. And that usually leads to guys messing up whatever the relationship is. Once he starts to treat you like a friend, he becomes a friend to you. He doesn't realize that, and so he's wasting all of his resources when all he has to do is man up, balls up and open his mouth and make an advance. But he probably won't because he's terrified of you. So if you want something to come of it, you probably have to make an advance on him. And it's not chasing him because all of his actions indicate that he's chasing you. It's different. When a man is extending himself to that degree, it's okay for you to ask him out or make the first move if he's a bit too shy, because all of his actions are showing you that you're the priority in his life. The man's tricking off all his gas, so good luck with that. But he probably is not going to make the first move. He's probably terrified. And I've been in that position before. I've liked a girl a whole lot and just been terrified to muddle things up with, with any advancement that might not be reciprocated, and it end up, not turning anything. It end up not turning into anything anyway because of that fear. So like I said, I've been in that position as the guy. Sometimes you can just like a girl too much. A guy can be two or three different guys to two or three different women. One woman, if he's really into, he can be the shy guy who's really nice, tricks off all his resources, does everything he can to make that woman feel special, and never makes a move because he's terrified of her. To a completely different girl, he can be an asshole. He can be very dismissive. He can be emotionally unavailable. He can be uncaring. And to another girl, he can be kind of a mixture of both. He can be so because he's not sure what he feels about her, right? And so, like I said, just know that if he's extending himself to that degree, that he probably wants more than friendship. I'm not sure why he would do that otherwise. Somebody said, I've been with my man 4 years and he doesn't want to show me off on social media. Okay, that was an email. You said you've been with your man 4 years and he doesn't want to show you off on social media. K Martinez, I don't put a lot of stock in social media. I think that women in large part put way more stock in showing off a relationship on social media. They follow relationship goals, hashtags a lot more than guys do. That just might not be a concern for him or a thing for him. And I don't think that, some people want to put their relationship on the internet, not because they're ashamed of the relationship, but just because they don't feel like it's anybody's business, or they're not living for the admiration of people on social media. Some of y'all, and I'm not saying you in particular, K Martinez, but some of y'all really got to get a grip of your need to impress people and your need to display yourselves in front of people. People are doing way too much for likes these days. And hell, I'm married. I got 2 kids. Man, y'all might get a photo of my family, once every 6 months, once every 9 months. And it's not because I'm not proud of my family. I guess I'm in a special position, though. I think a lot of people would, be a little bit too intrusive if I put them out there like that. But even so, when I was regular, like I'm not gonna kiss my wife's ass on Facebook or Instagram just for the hell of it. Like that's not a thing that I do. I'm living my best life, and it's mine to live. It's not mine to put out there and let other people judge it for whatever it is. Some people think they have a great thing until someone tells them they don't, right? And I'm just not putting myself in a position to be validated by anybody. I told you guys in that self-love, self-esteem video, don't give anybody the power to invalidate you. And I think a lot of you guys with the social media stuff, you're looking. A lot of times you're looking for the approval of others. You're looking for the admiration of others. You're looking for some likes. And it's not as simple as looking for some likes. I don't want to be dismissive. But when you really look at why you need him to put you on social media, You may find out that it's just because you're actually looking for a bit of attention, or you want to show him off, which is great. But why do you want to show him off? Why do you want people to know this so badly that you're happy, you're living your best life? You got an enemy watching you, looking at your statuses every day that you want to make jealous. Like there's a reason why some people need that validation. And I'm just not one who needs the validation of others. And so I don't give a damn if somebody sees my wife or my kids or doesn't. They can kiss my ass. He might feel the same way. So there's a difference between him not showing you off on social media and just refusing to acknowledge you, period, or your existence on social media. Now, that would be a problem. But as long as he's not hiding you on social media, I wouldn't give a whole lot of stock to whether or not he shows you off or kisses your ass or makes long status updates about you. That's a show for other people. That's not for you. How does he treat you? How does he handle you? How does he support you? How does he make you feel in real life? This social media stuff is a mirage. So like I said, I've probably been accused of the same thing before, but it's just not a thing I do. My wife just understands why I do it, but I'm not him. And so he could be, wrong for some reason, or maybe you didn't get to explain the whole thing. But I do believe that the social media thing is a bit overblown for a lot of young women who want to be hashtag relationship goals, right? And no offense. Somebody said, just heard of you yesterday and I like what you put down. I appreciate that, Pamela Brown. 100, 100, 100, 100, 100, I guess you got to do it like that. Somebody said, I'm 52 and the older they get, the worse it gets. That can be absolutely true. A lot of men have a traumatic experience with women, and a lot of women have traumatic experiences with men, to the point to where neither sex trusts each other to not be jaded or damaged by the time they get to them. So in older people dating, I realize it's a lot more caution, a lot more mistrust, and sometimes it's a lot more baggage, but sometimes it's two people that don't even have a bunch of baggage, just afraid of the other person's potential baggage, so that's a thing too. Ranisha Anderson, how do you get over someone emotionally? His actions show he's clearly not ready for me, and I know I need to move on, but I can't shake the feeling. How do you get past over feelings? You have to deal with the facts and not the feelings. Your feelings have you in the ground, right? I mean, think about the amount of men who are dead because they had an emotional day or emotional moment. Right. Think about the amount of women who have been hurt because they were led by their emotions instead of by their logic when they needed to. Right. And they didn't live with their brains. They live with their hearts. But the heart doesn't really think. The heart doesn't compute logic. The heart wants what the heart wants, it says. Right. That's the quote. The heart has absolutely zero sense sometimes when it comes to feelings. And a lot of times you don't even know why you are so into a guy. Like you said, you're trying to get over somebody. His actions show you he clearly is not ready for you, but you can't shake the feeling. So why are you so attached to him emotionally if his actions have been bad, if his actions have been negative, if his actions have had a negative effect? You still have these strong emotions for him when he hadn't shown you a reason that you should have them. What is your affinity towards? Mistreatment, right? Like, it's a bit masochistic when you think about it, how people completely ignore how they've been treated because they're thinking about and listening about how they feel, listening to how they feel. But your feelings aren't attached to anything factual. Your feelings are attached to the potential that you think you and this guy have, the potential that you made up in your head, right? The hypothetical scenario of him treating you well like you deserve and being head over heels for you and falling all over you like you're falling all over him, right? This happily ever after story that you've created for yourself. That's what you're that's what you're feeling. You're feeling anticipation. You're feeling excitement, but it's all over a dream you've created, a fantasy that you created. Who he's shown you he is and what he's shown himself to be is completely different than your fantasy. And you're not listening to the reality. You're just listening to your imagination. So when whatever happens, and it doesn't happen well, when whatever comes of this happens, you have yourself to blame because he's shown you who he is already. Thank you so much, Karina, for the super chat, the $2 super chat. Karina F, I do appreciate your super chat. YouTube doesn't show me super chats under $5, and I think it's I think it's lame and weak. I think they show me like $4.99, but YouTube doesn't think I care about a $1 super chat. I do, and or a $2 super chat, and so I appreciate you, Karina. Thank you for your $2 super chat. It's $2 more than I had before I started this live. I ain't mad at it. I didn't get a question from you though, but like I said, I appreciate you. Let me see if we can get back to these questions. Somebody said, why are girls generally attracted to bad boys? They may have the most perfect nice guys, but end up going for the opposite. I think that women are attracted to the emotional roller coaster, to the uncertainty, to the excitement of not knowing. Sometimes people don't want to know everything about a person. I used to be an oversharer when I would go on dates when I was like 17. I would tell somebody my life story and they would be so interested and they'd be like, oh my God, great. And they'd be impressed by the way I speak and all of that stuff. But guess what? 2 weeks later, they didn't have anything else to learn about me. So they would just lose interest in me, the nice guy. And they would get with a guy who treated them like crap, never said a word, just whipped his thing out and make them, and it was like, oh, he's exciting. He's mysterious. Well, no, he didn't have anything to say because he's an airhead, but he seems mysterious, right? And because he's emotionally dismissive, you have something to work toward. It's like having a goal, right? If you don't have anything to work toward, you don't have anything to anticipate, you don't have anything to look forward to, the excitement's gone. The good guys don't bring excitement because you have a good guy when they're too transparent. Bad guys, on the other hand, give you a goal. You want to impress him. You're looking for his validation, which he doesn't give very much. Those things matter to a woman, and sometimes they shouldn't, but that's just how a lot of people work. So I don't know. I hope that answers your question. I got a super chat, so I want to respond to this. First of all, Miss Charles, I see you, Miss Charles. Thank you for your $10 super chat. No question, just support as usual. I appreciate you. I ain't spoke to you in a minute. I usually talk to you on Instagram. I ain't hollered at you in a minute, so I hope everything's going well. Let me see. So yeah, that's why women are usually attracted to bad boys, just because they bring excitement. Mentally, you have something to look forward to and work toward in his validation. A lot of times that just doesn't come as easy with nice guys. They don't give you nothing to work toward. You don't appreciate things that are given to you. That's just the bottom line. Classy TS, keep doing the work you do. Very wise. Love you. Thank you. I appreciate it. Another $2 super chat. Classy TS. Thank you again. YouTube doesn't show me, but when somebody does that, my wife usually texts me because you can see it in the chat. Y'all can see these things. I can't see them when they're like that, but I don't know why. That's just weird. I can see the ones over $2 or over the $4 or something like that. But again, disregard. If it feels like I've ignored you, my wife will definitely make sure I see anybody who supported me. Okay, I think she sent that one twice. Cool. Let me see. Tam, I don't want to beat your name up, but Tam E. We're gonna call you Tam E. Thank you so much. She said, question. In a private tomorrow, is that okay? If not, support. Oh, okay. Question in private tomorrow, is that okay? If not, support. Absolutely. Yeah, Tam, write me. I don't know where you prefer to write me. Write me on Instagram at kevhick24, or write me at in Gmail at kevhicktalksguyswithgirls at gmail.com. If you write me at Gmail or write me on Instagram and just put a bunch of emojis in the first line or in the subject line, if it's a Gmail, I will definitely respond to you, and you can ask me your question in private then. That's how you do that. Okay. Man, I got a lot of questions I didn't get to. Okay, so I'm going to try to dig into some more of these questions. Somebody said, what do you think when they say they're not ready for a commitment because they have got a lot of issues and their money isn't right, but they're working on it? A lot of guys, remember I just did a video about the top 5 male insecurities, right? And finances was maybe number 4 on that one, maybe number 4 on the list. So a lot of guys are very, very self-conscious about, a plethora of things, but finances is something that usually every man has to consider, even if he's not self-conscious, even if he's not insecure, a man must consider his finances before he goes on a date with a woman, especially if it appears that she might cost a bit more than he can afford, right? And that be by way of her time, her style, her lifestyle, right? You don't want her lifestyle to drop when she gets to you and start becoming resentful of you, because it seems like somebody who could offer her the lifestyle she wants or is used to could just swoop in and take her. And that's not always the case, but that's the insecurity, right? So when a guy tells you that he's not looking for a relationship or he's not ready for a commitment because he has a lot of issues and you know, or he's broke, that's a real concern for him, and he doesn't feel like he has enough to offer a woman. He doesn't feel like a real man. He doesn't feel like he doesn't feel like a provider. And some men need to feel like they can provide. Some men need to feel like they're what they bring to the table is something that a woman can either not do for herself or she would need from him, right? And if he doesn't feel like he can fill the man's role in a relationship, then yeah, I've known guys to not date when they were between jobs, or not date when they had a shitty job, or I'm sorry, a bad job, right? I remember I got a family member that had two bad jobs, and we met a girl at a store, and she was just waiting for one of us to talk to her. Like either one of us could have spoken to her and got her number and probably dated her, but she was very receptive, and he just refused. I was like, and I was in this relationship, so I was like, I'm not. This is you, man. Go and get it. He's like, man, I can't, man. Man, she got stuff going on. She in school and stuff. I just work at the Taco Bell. I was like, man, come on, bro. You know what I'm saying? So I've known guys that had a lot of financial insecurity when it comes to women, and they usually date below them or beneath them. Speaking about their character, they date any woman that they feel is financially doing so much worse than them that whatever little they do have is a lot to them. And that's sad, because a lot of good guys out there dating beneath them, morally, because that's where their money is. So I hope that helps. We at 270. We're good. We're good. Then we pop. Somebody said question. I just read that one. No, this is a different one. She said question. If a guy who says he's attracted to you and has the opportunity to sleep with you and doesn't, does it mean he respects the girl? It could mean he respects the girl, but respect usually is not going to keep my pants off if I'm a single guy. Sometimes the anticipation for a real relationship can make him not sleep with a woman. A lot of times guys are, again, the 5 insecurities. Endowment is one of the insecurities. A lot of times a guy is either not comfortable with his size or his skills. I didn't even touch on that in the subject in the insecurities video, but a lot of guys don't feel like they're experienced enough or good enough or are capable of pleasing a woman, and that makes them very anxious. And so if a guy says he's attracted to you and you know he's sexually active and he doesn't sleep with you, then yeah, maybe it's because he's trying to show respect or trying to show restraint. But a lot of times it's because he's insecure and he doesn't know if he can perform or not. And that disbelief can cause a guy a lot of opportunities with women. I've known that to happen. I think I've turned down sex I've turned down a good amount of sex for a lot of different reasons. But one of those reasons was when I was just inexperienced, and I was like, I did not want to embarrass myself, and had this girl tell everybody that I was not the guy, right? Before I was really sexually active, I passed on a few opportunities just because I wasn't experienced. I didn't know what I was doing, and I didn't want to be embarrassed or humiliated for it. You understand me? Hell, in fact, I lost my virginity out of town. I lost my virginity 5 hours away from my hometown, just so if it went horrible, nobody would know about it and I couldn't be humiliated for it. That's how serious I was about not being humiliated. So I've been in that position as a very young man. I understand exactly why sometimes a guy won't have sex with a woman for that. But I've also turned down women because I just didn't want to rush the relationship. I've turned down women because I cared about them too much and I didn't think that they belonged. I didn't think that, the first time we had sex should be in the back of some car, right? Like, look, there's a million reasons why a guy might turn you down, but I guess respect is one and insecurity is another one. Those are the two main reasons. Tanya Rucker, thank you so much for the super chat. She said, Thank you for letting us know what men are really thinking. For they don't communicate well with us, ladies. Thank you very much. No, a lot of guys communicate, but a great many don't. And that has a lot to do with your background. Well, just with the nature of how you was raised, and if you were, some of you psychology majors or psychology buffs in here are familiar with nature versus nurture, right? Nature being the thing that you inherently do, just genetically predisposition to, in your behavioral capacity, and then nurture is the thing that the things and the habits that you learn through experience through life. And so, a lot of guys are great communicators because they've been nurtured as great communicators. They, maybe grew up in two-parent homes or had a very expressive parent that required them to speak, that didn't allow them to not express themselves. And then there are other people who grew up in houses and homes where they didn't talk about things. They just kind of let them blow over. They just ate dinner in silence. You know what I'm saying? Like there are a lot of ways that people grow up and people live differently than us. And in our household, we think that this is the normal because it's our household, but every household next to yours isn't like yours. And so a lot of guys don't communicate well. And I'm happy to be the voice of those who wish they could communicate but just don't know how. So thank you for your super chat. Let me make sure I don't have no. All right. No super chat. Tiffany Parker. All right, Tiffany Packer. I'm sorry. Forgive me. I can read. I mean, I ain't that off that I can't read Packer. Tiffany Packer. Thank you for your super chat. She said, I met a well-standing guy and messed up because of my own issues. I wasn't mentally ready, and I want to contact him for another chance because there were real feelings between us. Should I let it be? No. If you feel like you can do it better the second time, and you feel like there is still interest on his part there, no. Just because you listen, all of y'all, whoever, just because you are a woman doesn't mean that you can't make a move or make it known that maybe you're ready to reapproach a situation. No, and I would never move someone to live out of fear and operate out of fear and make decisions out of fear. I don't believe in that. And so, if you believe that you and that guy could work out, and there were some feelings for you, some feelings from you and him, and there's a rapport built, and all you have to do is just kind of reconnect and try to start it over, and you already have like a relationship. Yeah, man, just let him know that maybe things didn't go as well as they should have last time, and you want to revisit that. However you might pronounce that. I mean, not pronounce it, but however you might express that. But no, I don't believe that you should just let it be. If you didn't do anything wrong to him, he didn't do anything wrong to you, and you never owed him anything that you didn't pay, right? And vice versa. Yeah, give it a shot. I'm gonna put my phone over here. It just feels weird that my phone's in a different place. Okay. So I hope that helps. I didn't mean to suck my teeth out loud in y'all faces like that. Somebody said, how or when do I bring up to a guy that the last 10 years of my life was spent really sick? I don't want to scare him away. I'm in great health now. I suppose you would treat that like any other vulnerability that you might offer. If you're in great health now and it's definitely not a concern for the future, then I guess then just say, hey, I want to tell you something about me that you might want to know. If things are getting serious, this is not first date conversation, obviously, but this is the conversation before we decide to be together or commit to one another, right? So if you think that things are going in that direction and you got a guy that is interested in you, you want to give him a full disclosure. You want to allow him to make that decision from an informed place, right? So yeah, you just say, hey, it's something I want to tell you about, just how things have been for me, and I don't want to scare you, and it's not a concern now. I'm good now, but this is how the last 10 years of my life were, and I hope that doesn't give you pause or resolve against furthering things for me. Hopefully he understands. I believe he'll understand, especially if you're in good health now and it's not a concern, most likely he'll be completely straight up about it. He'll be completely okay about it, straight about it. So, good luck. But I don't know. I don't know how long you've been talking to the guy, but I don't think that's something you have to hold on to for very long, especially if you're not sick right now. Um, I don't know a lot of guys who would treat you any differently than they had been treating you anyway. That's the thing. Okay, somebody said, how you know a guy is into you? Joy Kellum. I don't know, maybe 14 videos, maybe 11, about 11 videos about how to tell if a guy likes you. I try to do one every year, every maybe 6 months now. Like I did a lot my first year because it was the easiest way to get people to watch my channel and build up my subscription base. And it was the biggest question I got. It was the most common question. It's still one of my most common questions. But I have so much content now that I just always try to approach it from a different scenario, and I don't know exactly which scenario you are referring to. So I would refer you to, if you haven't been watching my channel for very long or haven't been binge watched any of the how to tell if a guy likes you, how to tell if a guy is falling in love, how to tell if a guy cares about you, how to tell if a guy wants to be more than friends, like all of that, how to tell if you're it's a lot of how to tell if a guy likes you videos on my page. So I would defer you to those. And then if those don't answer your question for whatever reason, then come back to me, and I would love to give you a different scenario if you can offer me a different form of that question. Somebody said men with the gift of gab. That's a thing. Maybe y'all got something else going on. Maybe that's a different conversation. Somebody said, thank you. We should love ourselves more than anything. Absolutely should love yourself. Sue B, she said, Kev, do you believe in twin flame contracts? I'm not as versed on twin flames as I should be as I guess a relationship person. I've looked into it and dabbled, but that's not a thing that I'm particularly knowledgeable about twin flames. Of course, I've read up on it a little bit, but I don't know enough about the sources and the ideas behind it to really give a concise and strong, steady opinion on it. When I was reading about it, I probably could have answered that question, but now I can't even remember most of it. I think I need to dig into twin flames a bit more. From my understanding, though, I don't, because you say contracts, I think contracts is throwing me off. Twin flames, I believe in twin flames to a degree. I think that in all forms, there are spirits that you are just connected to. And sometimes it's a friendly spirit. Sometimes it's a family member that you are just connected to, like y'all spirits just go together. And romantically, it's amazing when you can find somebody that is what can be considered a twin flame. Like I know that, I have a couple friends that like our spirits just match, and we are good spirits. Our spirits are just like, we'll be friends forever, right? And it's not about what that person does for me, what I do for them. It's just like they are spiritually, we were meant to be friends, right? And relationally, obviously, I feel like that about my wife. Like spiritually, we were meant to be together. There are a lot of people that you'll learn. We're kind of meant for you, and I feel like God brings us to people who will benefit us. And sometimes you can pick up life partners throughout the way. They say, some people are meant to be in your life for a season, and other people are meant to be in your life forever, right? Or I get whatever the other thing is, a season and whatever. I don't know. I don't remember the verse all the way, but all I know is I do believe in twin flames. I don't know what the contract is, so that confuses me a bit. I'm sorry I couldn't tell you a bit more, Subi. I hope that answers your question. I got a super chat. S. McDade. S. McDade, thank you so much for your super chat, by the way. I appreciate it. She said, why would a guy get ghosted after he said he wanted a relationship? I thought we had good chemistry. I'm wondering if you had sex with him, S. McDade. I'm sorry. Sometimes guys, what they do is they put their mouth talks before they're really committed, mentally. And so a lot of times guys that make promises that they can't keep, that's a personality type. Like people just do that. You write a check that your ass can't cash, or, you put the cart before the horse, or, all of those similes or metaphors work for it. But you can think, that you have good chemistry, and he can realize that you have good chemistry. But sometimes the thought of a relationship and the responsibilities therein are enough to make a guy run away. Other times, a guy will tell you whatever it takes to get in your pants, whatever it takes, especially if he can get the benefits of, a relationship before a relationship is required of him. If all the guy thinks is that if he needs to say, hey, well, I love you, and he can get some, and then he tells you he loves you, and then you give him some, he doesn't have to really come through on that promise. He didn't have to then do anything to prove it, right? Because he got what was anticipated. And sometimes it's not enough. Like I said, you can't F your way into a cold heart. So hopefully you didn't give him none, because I'll tell you something. And again, for whoever needs this, if a guy tells you he wants a relationship, then you should get the relationship before you consummate the relationship. You cannot consummate a relationship that you aren't in. And a lot of women are doing that. They think, okay, so he's saying he wants something serious. He's saying we got good vibes. He's saying he likes me. He never said, can you be my woman? Will you be with me? Can we be together? Can we go steady? Can we be official? Anything like that. He just said that. In general, yeah, we vibing. I'm feeling you, let's see where it goes. And then you drop your draws for him. How are you consummating a relationship when you're not in a relationship? I mean, even if you're not, holy roly, and you don't need to be married or anything like that. And I'm not trying to get on you, Sue McDade. I don't know what you consummated or didn't consummate, but hold on. I need to get us some drink. I'm not getting dry. I always look funny drinking on camera. Disregard. Yeah, but a lot of women are consummating relationships, and they're not in relationships, and then they're wondering why they never get to the relationship. For whoever needs to hear this, never, ever, ever have sex with the guy that's not your man if you want him to become your man. Like you're not gonna impress him so much with the booty that he's gonna all of a sudden want to commit, right? He didn't need to commit for the booty. He's just gonna keep getting the booty and give you ambiguity so that you keep giving it to him until you don't want to anymore. And then he's gonna be like, I told you I didn't want no relationship. I didn't ever tell you I wanted no relationship. You assumed, all that bull crap. So just stop consummating relationships that are situationships. You can't consummate a situationship. It's kind of a contract. Once you give it up, you're just doing that. That's what y'all doing. And I don't think that's I don't assume that's what happened with you, S. McDade. I'm just saying. So if a guy said he wanted a relationship and then he ran off, it's because he either didn't mean what he said or it was a ruse. Or he had a change of heart, which happens often. And that's another reason why you don't want to be consummating situationships. Because if anybody can have a change of heart at any time, they can see something in you that they don't like. They can hear you say something they don't like. Their feelings can change. They can lose interest. They can be distracted, but they can be distracted by another person. An old crush could come back. An old flame could come back. An old girlfriend could come back. They could get attention from somebody, the person of their dreams. And all of a sudden, their feelings will change. And they meant every word when they said it. And then you gave them the butt, consummated the situationship, and all of a sudden, they're running off. And you're saying, well, I thought you wanted me. But things change and people have a change of heart. And you have to allow people to have a change of heart before they commit to you. And that's why you don't want to give yourself up or offer yourself up to people until you're in a real relationship where commitment is expected. And the relationship is stable and the person has earned your trust. If you don't know a guy and you can't trust a guy, you shouldn't be dropping your draws for a guy. And I don't give a damn what feminism tell you, do this with your body, do all of that with your body. But don't ask and complain about why you don't have a boyfriend after you do that. You got to protect yourself. I believe in women are not only equal in intelligence, but they should be equal in responsibility. I think that women are as smart. And so I'm not going to pretend that you're dumb. Do the thing by you. Watch out for you, because everybody's not going to watch out for you. And again, I'm not talking to S. McDade at this point. I think that was a beautiful question, S. McDade. You asked me something that kind of made me rant a little bit. And I think that that's something that women just need to understand, that you got to be your own advocate. But I don't know why he ghosted. Could have been anything. It was just basically a change of heart. Melissa Ruse. Question: why are girls generally? I already asked that. I already. Look, I need to go. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go down and I'm gonna come back up. Um, mm, I don't know if I can answer that. Probably get my little video blocked if I say that word too many times trying to answer the question. I say, hey Kev, how should a woman deal with the man she likes but has been divorced a couple times in the past? Would you consider this as a red flag? It can be a red flag. You have to, first of all, be very inquisitive. Get him to talk about it. If a man won't talk about his past relationships, it's possible that it's because he hadn't learned from them. If a man's refusing to deal with the reasons behind his divorce, again, it's possible that he hasn't taken responsibility for these things. It's not obviously an absolute, but it's possible if a man's refusing to deal with, think about, revisit, or anything like that, an old relationship that was supposed to be a marriage. A divorced man should know exactly what happened. He should have attempted to fix things. Like a divorce is for real, right? That's a commitment for life. So if you're divorced and you break the commitment for life, then you should have had good reason. If you just broke up like you was boyfriend and girlfriend and didn't try to fix anything and you were divorced, that should be something that should be considered by somebody dating a man that's been divorced a couple of times, just because if he's not going to work on it when everything is on the line, when his finances are attached, when he said forever and supposedly meant it, then why would he work on us just being boyfriend and girlfriend? I think if a guy's been divorced a couple of times, you really have to consider the reasons. You have to be very inquisitive. Like I said, you got to be curious. And it's not about what she did, who did what. It's about if he learned from his experience, what he learned from his experience. And if you can see that growth in him today. So yeah, it's a red flag, but it doesn't mean that he's bad. It doesn't mean that he's bad for you. It could mean that he's mismatched. It could mean that he was mistreated. It could mean that he was unappreciated, but it also could mean he was a cheater. He was a dirtbag. He was a slime ball. It could mean all of those things. He was inconsiderate, right? But you just got to figure out what he needed to learn from that, if he learned the lesson or not. And that's why you got to be inquisitive. You got to be very observant. Somebody said, I used to stay in shitty situations. Okay, somebody doing anything, y'all having a conversation. Somebody said, never give up your soul for a few minutes, never. Hell, I can agree with that. Somebody said, okay, they talking to each other. I'm gonna go up a little bit. Any advice on how to approach a grown man when you're shy and awkward? Small talk. Small talk is like, all you have to do is first of all make it known that you're in existence, you're alive, you exist, and you're open to talking to him. You don't have to approach a grown man and approach him like a gentleman, and get his phone number and ask him on a date and all that. All you have to do is find a way to make small talk. And if you can find a way to make small talk, if a guy likes you, he will extend the small talk. If a guy is impressed by you, or if a guy finds you interesting, when you go up to make small talk, it'll turn into a 20-minute conversation. Or it'll turn into him, hey, I got to go, but can I get your number? This was nice. Now, if he's shy and you're shy, you're going to have to make small talk a few times. So I hope you're not in a once-in-a-lifetime situation like at a mall or something when you're just passing a guy you don't know, because somebody's going to have to make a move. And if he's too afraid, you got to be just, hey, let's exchange Facebook. Are you on Facebook? Are you on Instagram? What's your page? I'll look you up. Like, you can do that, but if it's two shy people, somebody's got to make a damn move. But if you're approaching a guy who doesn't seem to be timid at all when you make your small talk with him, then you can trust that, because you came up to him and you made the small talk, that he'll see the window and hopefully have enough balls or interest to ask you out. But again, guys have their own insecurities. So, but even a shy guy will extend the small talk if he feels invited sometimes. So it just depends. Trying to find people in person or meet people in person, like a lot of things have to go right. Two people have to have, first of all, they be confident. They have to be confident in their abilities. They have to be confident in your ability to see whatever qualities that they have. Right? They have to be feeling particularly good about themselves. They have to be okay with rejection. Like sometimes you're just not in the mood for somebody to tell you no, right? And so it just a lot of things depend on are dependent. A lot of variables are present during two people trying to meet each other in person and it going well. Somebody says, what prevents a guy from kissing a woman? I went on a first date and we kissed, but on our second and third date, there was no smooches. Recently, I texted, do you like me? He said, yes, but what do I do? I think that sometimes a guy just doesn't know how or when to approach a thing like that. And if you kissed on the first date, maybe the scenario was similar, but easier for him to decipher what he should have done in that moment. Also, on the first date, a guy's probably less likely to like you and less nervous. I don't know how many times I fogged up some car windows, but the times that I find myself making out on the first date, I wasn't as interested as in the woman. That was the pastime. I went on this date, might as well make out. And I'm talking young man, Kevin. I'm not just making out with the hell. You know, I'm married, obviously. If you don't know, I'm married. So I don't do that stuff anymore. But I'm just saying, when I was dating a lot and when I was in cars making out all the time, fogging up the windows, I found that the first date with a woman that I didn't care about, I didn't really like, and I didn't care about, you don't care about anybody, you don't know, but when I didn't really have a genuine interest in a woman and I was just trying to fill her out, I always ended up making out. I always scored for, if that's the score, because I wasn't laying any woman down. I didn't believe in using a woman for a body, and so I was never on first dates just bending women over and doing whatever that would be what I was fogging up all the windows. I had to do that because I had to compensate for the lack of sex I was having, because I wasn't having none, because I wasn't in a relationship with nobody, because I didn't want to play with nobody's heart, right? So I say all that to say, sometimes a guy will make out with you on the first date because he didn't really care, and then he develops real interest in you, and all of a sudden that stuff slows down because now he cares about how good of a kisser he is, when before he didn't give a damn. Now he cares about how you feel about him, or if he's making the right move at the right time, when before he really didn't give a damn. So sometimes you can't use that as a barometer whether or not a guy likes you. I think that if you recently text him, do he like you, and he said yes, a man's going to give you a much more ambiguous answer if he's not sure of it. So just let him know, hey, or don't even let him know nothing. Just linger in kissing range. He's already under pressure. You've already made it known that you're not sure about how he feels about you. So he'll be under pressure to make a move to make sure that he likes you. And so just trust that he got the message, and linger in kissing range the next time you go out, and you should get your kiss if that matters to you. But sometimes when a guy really likes a girl, he moves slower than her. I don't know how many women that I've lost just because I was showing too much respect, or I was moving too slow in my very early dating years. Just not being confident. I was confident. I'm always confident, but I didn't know, if we would kiss well, or I didn't know if she would feel uncomfortable, or I'm a large guy. You can't just be big and aggressive on somebody. It makes some people get creeped out, or feel unsafe. You just don't know how a person feels about you as a guy sometimes. And so when you like a person, you constantly measuring and remeasuring everything. And sometimes you overthink things, contemplate things too much, and you kind of wuss out of it. And so I think that's what the guy's doing right now. God love freedom. I appreciate you. You always showing love. God love freedom. Thank you for your $4.99 super chat. Let me get some more water because I can hear my voice leaving. My wife like, you need to drink some water. All right, I think I'm back. Oh my, so true. Why would we as women give it up if we really want something serious? Love it. What if it's your duty to please this dude? Okay, man, you get the hell up out of here with that. You almost got me, dog. You almost got me. Somebody said, you look so much like Chris Tucker. That's what's up. I used to get that all the time. I used to get the smoky thing all the time. I get it with or without the head. I've been getting it since Friday came out, and I was a little kid, so I understand. I'm a great deal lighter than Chris Tucker, but I do have similar features than Chris Tucker, so I ain't mad at it. Somebody said, do men actually like bitches? I'm a nice woman and strong-minded and have a shit ton of self-respect, but I'm not mean. I don't get mad. I disappear. I can't seem to find a good man. Give me hope. Some men need to be. You got to understand, it's all about personality type, right? Some personalities like to rule and dominate, and others like to submit, right? They find balance in their submission as long as there's a good structure to submit to. Some people just respond well to leadership, and others don't. Bitches don't do well with men who are not looking for leaders, or with men who aren't looking for like a woman to lead them, right? They like clash, they bump heads. That type of woman, the dominant personality, does well with a compliant guy who generally is on top of the details of things, right? So an analytical, compliant man will do well with what's called a bitch sometimes because they're compliant and they get things right. And a lot of times the B personality is task driven, task oriented. So they don't care as much about the feelings as about the facts and about the not the presentation, but the the way things get done, right? And in a relationship, you have a dominator, and you have a submissive usually, and that provides some men balance. Every personality type doesn't need to be dominated. Some men need to be, some men need subordination to feel balanced. Other men need a partnership to feel balanced, like two equal parties to feel balanced, right? Equal energy. So no, I don't do well with I can't example. I don't do well with the bitch type. I know a lot of guys don't, but there's a very specific type of guy who does very well with that type, and it's just. Sometimes those are nice guys, unfortunately, not always, because nice again it doesn't allude to a person's personality profile, but a lot of nice guys, like they respond to that. But that's not a thing that is very broad. It doesn't represent the majority. I just think that sometimes our experiences lead us into the same place over and over, and it makes it seem like the world is a certain way, and it's just the prism of our reality because we're in a very small dating pool. So no, I think that you should have a whole lot of hope, see those S, because there are a lot of men who despise those types of women. I being one of them. Somebody says the exes love to contact you after they get married or a new boo. So weird. They just want their ego stroked, or they aren't getting the attention that they want currently. I don't know, but don't entertain your ex if they have a new boo or they're married, because it'll just make you the other woman. And I think that if you've been somebody's only or somebody's special someone, you shouldn't be degraded to dick appointment. Or side B. So just don't even entertain it. It's not even worth trying to figure it out. But they're probably getting the attention they want. They just want something different. A lot of times, if a guy gets a light-skinned woman, he starts loving dark-skinned women on the side. If a guy gets dark-skinned woman, he starts loving light-skinned women on the side. If he got a black woman, he wants a white woman. If he got a white woman, he wants a black woman. A guy just need variety. Guys like variety, and if a guy who cheats is cheating for variety. He's cheating for something strange, right? They always say. The old school guys say, hey, man, I need to give me some strange. I need to give me some strange, young blood. And by strange, they just mean a different type of woman, a strange person, right? A new person, a new experience. And so a strange experience is the lure that a lot of men fall in. And sometimes, even though you're familiar, because you're so different than the woman that they have, you appear to be strange, and they also get a bit of nostalgia and emotional connection, so they can make love in two different places. You can't beat it. Linda G, thank you so much for your $5 super chat. She said, when online dating, a guy I messaged for 5 minutes just gave me his number and I didn't ask for it. Or they don't ask me for mine. Is it okay to text them? If a guy gives you his number, after 5 minutes, he's chatting with you. He planned on giving you his number from the beginning. He planned on trying to get your number, but he didn't want to scare you. So instead, he wants to give you his number, and that way he's not rejected because his number's on the screen. Regardless, you can't say don't give me your number after he already typed it, right? And most women won't even say no or I'm not going to use it. They'll just be like, oh, okay, cool. And then they won't call you. But you don't feel rejected if you ask for a woman's number, or if you don't ask for a woman's number and she can't reject you. But if you give her your number and then she texts you, then you got the yes you were looking for. So that's what it's about. When a guy gives you his number in most cases and he hasn't asked for yours, it's him trying to avoid instant rejection from you telling him, well, I don't give my number out, or I don't know you like that, or whatever you might tell him. It's just a slick way of keeping yourself positive about the maybe relationship. Somebody says stop sexting men who won't marry you. I'm not mad at that at all. Yeah, I don't think that you should be sexting anybody that you're not married to, because how can you trust these people? How can you trust somebody who doesn't whose honor isn't tied to yours with pictures of you ass naked? Right? Like I would never damn share any picture I ever got for my wife with anybody, because that's my wife. I'm humiliated if she's humiliated. But if you just got some guy that you're talking to and y'all feeling each other and y'all got this sexual tension and y'all sharing sexual pictures because y'all horny and y'all on the phone too late or y'all in the chat room too late, when it doesn't work out and y'all don't continue to get to know each other, or you give him the butt and then he goes away because that's all he wanted. Now he has your new pictures in his phone. You didn't know him, you didn't trust him, and you did it anyway. And then you're going to say, oh my God, guys are creeps if your shit ends up on a website or in somebody else's phone because it's being passed through or it's been texted to everybody, forwarded to everybody in school or whatever. And yeah, he is a creep. He's everything. He deserves the worst. But guess what? Your ass shouldn't have damn sexted him your pictures. Like, what kind of, come on, man. Y'all need to learn how to masturbate. Like, y'all, man, I don't know what's up with some of these women and some of these guys, man, but y'all get yourself in so much trouble chasing some butt, and it's just not worth it. It's not worth it at all. Some of y'all women just need to learn how to masturbate and move on. Like, think about it. Rub one out to the thigh. You'll be happy that you did later when you ain't got to clean up this mess afterwards. Y'all got to learn to cool yourselves down, because a lot of y'all get into some sticky situations with this sexting stuff. I bet if you rub one out, or if a guy asks you for some smut pictures and you rub one out, once you get your rocks off, you're like, man, that's a really bad idea. That's a horrible idea. I would never do that. But if you're horny, it seems like a good idea. People don't think straight when they're horny, women or men. So don't be doing stuff like sexting and, or whatever else you might do because you're in the moment. And then when the moment passes, you're just mad that you did it. Or you're disappointed in yourself. And now you got to clean up. And the cleanup is always harder. The cleanup is so much harder than the initial thing. All right, I'm gonna travel down and I'm gonna travel back up. Somebody said, "Don't ask for pics." Told him straight, never gonna happen. Yeah, you always tell a guy you're never gonna. I didn't say rub one out into your thigh. I don't know. Maybe she got her own interpretation of what that means, but yeah, rub one out before you damn send a naked picture or be topping some guy off in a damn bar or whatever y'all be doing, man. Y'all need to learn how to just she's saying, okay, y'all tripping right now. I'm good. Anyway, she said a guy disrespected me when we were talking on the phone, so I hung up on him. I spoke to his friends and they said not to text him back first, so I don't look pathetic. But what if he never texts me again? Why would you want a disrespectful dude to text you again? If you have to tell him to not disrespect you, then he's not to make it happen 5 in. For those who don't understand what just happened, she said a guy disrespected me when we were talking on the phone. So I hung up on him. I spoke to his friends and they said not to text him back first so I don't look pathetic. But what if he never texts you again? If he don't text you again, to hell with him. Like, first of all, why are you waiting for him to text you again? He's disrespected you. Like, you have to at least require respect. I mean, damn. What are you going to have in a relationship if you don't require respect from a dude? So what? He's going to be like, oh, my bad. I shouldn't have said that. You realize when you get in a relationship with him, he's going to be saying a whole lot more than that, and you're going to feel indebted. You're going to feel indebted to him. You're going to feel obligated to take shit from him because y'all together and you're attached to him. Right now, while you're not attached to him, while you're not emotionally involved with him, while you can still get away, run as fast as you can from a disrespectful man. Because if he gets your mind and he gets your emotions, then you're gonna be getting disrespected for a long time to come. You're gonna be his booty call. You're gonna be his little bitch on the side. And see how he gonna talk to you? Yeah, I got this little bitch over here. You're gonna be all of them things. You're gonna be bitch and hoe. You're gonna be all of that stuff because you don't require respect. So now you fuck all that texting him. I'm sorry, fuck all that texting him back stuff. You need to move on. You need to go and get you a man that's got some respect that you don't have to hang up on. That's ridiculous. Tanisha W. She said, I decided to shoot my shot with the guy I worked with. We didn't work closely. First of all, thank you for your super chat. We didn't work closely. He said we can hang out. It's been a month. Should I be patient or be done? If he said you can hang out and it's been a month, he knows you. He knows you're interested. You've already extended yourself. Just be done. Let him come to you if it's gonna happen, but don't chase him and don't ask him twice. Never ask a man twice, and never beg a man for his time. A man should never, ever, ever be begged for his time or be chased or coddled in that way. If he knows that you're available to him and he knows you're interested in him, and you shot your shot, and he's not making a move about it, you can still be very friendly. You can still be in his face. You can still make impressions on a daily basis, but do not by any means shoot your shot again or ask him, hey, what's up with that date? Because you're just gonna be a girl he's half interested in, doing things to try to create more interest, and it's just not gonna end well. So if it's not his interest, if he's not interested enough in you to do something about it now, you don't want to get into a thing where you're trying to convince him otherwise. And that's not to say that he won't develop interest in you. It's just to say right now he doesn't have one. But that can change. You just have to play your cards very carefully. And it's not always an option, and it doesn't always change. I'm losing my voice again. You know, I got a fear about drinking water on camera and choking. I seen the Instagram video of this dude trying to look cool, and he was drinking a little tiny bottle of liquor. I don't drink, so but he's drinking a little tiny bottle of liquor, trying to stunt for the gram. He started choking in his car, spilling liquor everywhere. I thought that was the funniest video in the world. I don't want that to be me, and I feel like karma would have me do it on camera because I've laughed at that video like 100 times. Anyway, I'm gonna get back to these questions. Somebody said, have you ever thought about giving a relationship workshop, exotic location, exotic? Yes, one day I will be giving, I'm starting to do, people always ask me if I'm going to be doing in-person talks, if I'm doing as far as events. I know I just got off the phone with a woman in Detroit. So I got an event coming up in Detroit. I think it's going to be in May. That is right now the date isn't set in stone, but when I get more details on the event in Detroit, for my Detroit subscribers, put a 1 in the comment section if you're from Detroit and you would like to come to an event that I did. It's going to be a women's event. But if you like to come to one of my events and you're from Detroit, you can put a 1 in the comment section. But I'll start doing events all over the place here pretty soon. As they come, I'll book them, and I'm really not going to run from that phase of progression. I feel like it's the natural phase of progression for where I am in life. So yeah, I'll do that. I got 2 super chats at the same time. I got 2 super chats at the same time, so I got to get these. What if you're hanging out with a guy all the time, going on dates and chilling, and what if he goes out of town, i.e. visits family, and he gets ghosted? That happens a lot with the women I talk to. YJ just gave me $5 on love, so I appreciate you, YJ. Thank you so much. YJ looking out. She always look out. Thank you so much. And Keita Rouge, I appreciate you too. She said, okay, so she said, what if you're hanging out with a guy all the time, going out on dates and chilling, and what if he goes out of town and visits family and then gets ghosted? That happens a lot to the women I talk to. I'm not sure what the similarity is between those two, but that just happens. Sometimes guys go out of town and reconnect with an old crush from an old town. That can happen. Sometimes the separation is all they needed to just kind of just be done. You know, a guy's not super invested if he can just go out of town and he can't graduate the relationship from in person to out of town. Like, let's say a guy will go out of town 2 weeks. This has happened a few times. I talked to a young woman and they said, well, he went out of town to visit family. He was going to stay with them for about 2 weeks or a month. And they can't keep the phone thing going for just the 2 weeks he's going to be out of town. It tells me that his thing for her was attraction, and his attraction wore off because she was out of sight, out of mind. Her thing for her was genuine interest. So he's out of sight, but he's not out of mind. She's still on him. He comes back, he's no longer interested, and maybe he got his enough rocks off in, his out of town place to where he didn't even want to pursue her for sex anymore. He's just like, yeah, whatever. So that happens. But if a guy can ghost you and he never really had interest, he only had attraction, or he had interest and his interest changed, he had a change of heart. So if a guy ghosts you, please don't keep revisiting it. Don't allow him to do you like that and just get away with it. But and then just come back in your life. Don't let people re-enter your life after they ghost you. I think that you should have a bit more. You should get a bit more respect from people. And maybe two people who are just dating don't owe each other anything. But if a guy ghosts you twice, you just never talk to him again. Not even as a friend. Just y'all can't be nothing. But that happens a lot, and I can't really explain what the phenomenon is. Twinkle Star, thank you for your $4.99 super chat. She said, no question, just appreciate what you are doing. I cannot do relationships anymore, but it's a good thing you're helping folks that are still trying. I appreciate that, Twinkle Star. A lot of people I talk to feel that way. A lot of people. Like, for the most part, y'all not alone. Like, I probably get that comment. I don't know. Every day I read my comments, and while I can't respond to them all because I get a few hundred a day, I believe, at least 100 a day. There are a lot of comments, probably about 100 a day. But what I always see is somebody saying, "Well, you know what? I'm not dating anymore. Not right now. I'm done with it for now. Or done with it forever. I've seen that too." And I can't put myself in your shoes because I don't know what you've been through, but I believe there's always hope and there's always somebody out there for you. I just think that sometimes you have to figure out what you're responding to that's giving you the same experience every time. There's something in you allowing the same thing to happen every time. It's not just dumb luck that you're meeting the same type of character flaw every time around. So, that's the thing. But again, there are again a plethora of reasons why one might just sit down and stop dating, and there are many good reasons too. So for those women who have good reasons, I completely support your decision. Sometimes your peace and your tranquility in life, right, just your general joy and happiness are more important than trying to find a mate. And I don't think that if you can't be happy by yourself, you shouldn't be dating anyway. You should really learn how to be with you and then date. Not the other way around. Let me scroll down a little bit. Somebody says, my boyfriend of 2 months has gone quiet and cold on me. He's been studying for his board exams, but when I've attempted to speak to him, he just went cold. What do I do? Help. Well, he's lost interest in the relationship. You can't be in a relationship by yourself. You can't work on a relationship by yourself. When a guy thinks that you're that disposable and you're not a concern, then you just have to, unfortunately, move on. What you don't want to do is kiss his ass and stick around and be abused, be neglected, be abandoned, because you'll serve a purpose for him, but it won't be mutual love. It won't be a mutually beneficial relationship. He's studying for his board exams. I know he's stressed out, but again, I know men who have dealt with all types of stresses and they didn't up and break up with their girlfriends. And so for him, if that was an option for him to abandon you without even a talk, trying to figure out what the hell's going on, then that's a problem. It sounds like you might be long distance though. How does a guy go quiet on you when you see him in person, like in real life? Right? I don't know what kind of relationship y'all have, but if you don't see your man, it seems like there's some distance between you anyway. I don't know how he gets that off without running into you or you just showing up at his house like, what the hell's going on? What's the problem, bro? But even so, if you got to do that, you're in a bad relationship. You shouldn't have to chase your man around. Somebody said, hey, Kev, love your videos and advice. I thought you said, well, rub one out to the thought, meaning think about the person you're attracted to while you masturbate instead of sexting. That's exactly what I said. I didn't say the thought. Well, I said not the thought, like THOT, like that hole over there. I think that's a really stupid acronym. It doesn't make any sense at all. Um, that's the dumbest damn acronym to ever come out of rap music. So no, not the thought, but the thought, right? Rub one out to the thought, right? So yes, pleasure yourself instead of sexting, and then see if you're not relieved that you didn't just send a picture that you can't unsend after you're done. That's exactly what I said. A lot of times I get male friends, male acquaintances. None of my friends, all my friends are solid guys. They're great husbands. They just birds of a feather flock together. We good. But I've known a lot of men that come to me. They're like, man, you do that relationship stuff, man. You know, how do I avoid cheating on my girl? Like, you know, or man, this girl trying to get me over there, man. You know, I'm tempted, and I just tell them, listen, bro, rub one out to the thought, right? And see if you're not relieved that you don't have to find a reason to get out of that room, or find a reason to tell her she has to leave, right? Or you have to find a reason or a way to lie about what just happened or where you were. See if you're not relieved that you didn't just do something stupid that you can't undo, right? And they're all right. They be like, man, yo, that's word up. I'm gonna do that. And the ones who do don't end up cheating. They realize how dumb it was and how momentary that need was, right? Women need to do the same thing. If you learn to rub one out to the thought of a guy, you do a lot less stupid crap trying to impress him if he makes you that hot in your pants, man. Like, y'all just need to learn and start learning your bodies too. Like, y'all waiting for a man to discover y'all bodies, and y'all don't be knowing how to pleasure yourself. That's a whole nother conversation. But you know, sometimes it ain't the men that suck in bed, it be some of y'all. But that's another conversation. I think my voice is going. Hold on, let me drink my drink aquily and not choke on it, hopefully. I didn't choke yet. We good. Somebody said, Kev, is it cheating when a man is married and he calls other females sexy and hot, baby? Sexy, hot, and baby. I don't think it. I think we're just throwing around the word cheating here. So no, I don't think it's cheating, but it's definitely not respectful of his relationship. I don't think that a man should be doing that. So yes, it's definitely not respectful to his relationship. And it's inappropriate, and no, he shouldn't be doing it. I don't be calling women sexy, hot, and baby. And every time I compliment a woman, it's something that I could say right in front of my wife. And I compliment a lot of people. I compliment men and women. I compliment guys' style. I compliment their shoes. I compliment their cars. I compliment women's hands and nails if they keep them done. Like, I'm a complimenter person, but I compliment people in front of my wife. I'm not going to say anything to a woman I can't say while my wife's sitting right there. Like, I wouldn't say, right? And so I don't think he should be calling anybody sexy, hot, and baby. And my wife texted me somebody's question that I missed, so I'm going to answer this question. Winfred, I'm not going to beat up your last name and your other last name, but Winfred, shout out to Winfred. She said, dating a guy, he has trouble communicating when we are not together, messages, calls. He said he ain't talk much. He ain't talk much in that way. When we together, he talk a lot about everything and is open. Doesn't make sense. Well, Winfred, if you need more communication, then that needs to be something that he can try to oblige you on. I don't like when people say, like, there are certain things that aren't inherent to a person's personality, right? That you can't make somebody do, no matter how much you try to present it as your standard, right? Like, you can't make a man thoughtful. Right, there are a lot of guys who are not thoughtful. You can't say, well, I need a man who's thoughtful and have these prerequisites that all require, a man to be thoughtful naturally, and he's just not a thoughtful person. You can't do that. But the basics of communicating, I think that should be manageable. Even if you have to get on a schedule and say, listen, every day you on break at 3, or you get off work at 7, I'll let you go decompress. Please call me at 8:30 every day, and that's when we're gonna chop it up if we haven't seen each other. And you can just do that. You can set a standard on schedule if you have to. If you're waiting for a man to randomly be great, sometimes that is just not going to happen. So if he's not communicating like you want to, he's not messaging you or calling you like you want to, but he likes you, and the the interest is mutual and in person, everything is going good. You just need to let him know what you need to feel safe and secure in a relationship. And if he's not trying to make you feel safe and secure in a relationship, then guess what? You don't have a relationship. So if I was you, I just let them know, hey, especially if y'all, if you guys are really close when you're together, just say, hey, at some point when it's appropriate, and I don't know if it's appropriate now, but at some point when you get together, and it's time to really start setting your standards for men, just tell them, hey, aren't you free? I feel like I'm free at this time every day. Are you free at that time? Well, cool. Can we just start talking that time if, at that time of day, if we haven't heard from each other? And that way, at least you're getting enough to feel okay. But if you're not getting any text or any calls, then that's a bit concerning, because why would he wait for you to call? And it seems like if he's interested, he'd just be waiting for you to call because he's a bit lazy and he wants to be called and wants to be chased. And so you want to switch the dynamic and make sure that he understands that he has a responsibility to work toward whatever you're building. Otherwise, when you get in a relationship with him, you got a man that you never know where he is, and your calls, you never checks in. That's what that turns into. So you have to get control of it now. Or learn to manage it, not get control over it like a puppy. Let me see. Tanisha W, thank you so much for your $2 super chat. Of course, YouTube didn't show me, but my wife sent it to me. She said, how do men really feel about virgins? Me, 26. Man, I get this question a lot too. There's a lot of virgins out there, and I love it. I love it. It gives me hope for a lot of the young men I know that are decent, that are looking for a woman that hasn't been with who they consider to be everybody, or who they perceive to be everybody, right? A lot of people aren't as sexually experienced as they might put on or lead people to believe. I believe that decent men, good men, men who are well-intentioned, like virgins. They don't, of course, I'm going to be completely honest, having sex with a virgin, for taking someone's virginity is not the most pleasurable experience, but it's an experience that's well worth the trouble for a man who loves a woman, right? I wouldn't, if I was single, I wouldn't think twice about dating a virgin, if I was single. But and when I was single and I dated a virgin, like, it didn't. In fact, I preferred it. Me personally, I'm a person who likes things that are exclusive. Right, I like to feel special. To be the only man that a woman has been with makes you the most special. Right, there's no one else that she can compare you to. You are the everything. You are her whole experience, and like, some men want to feel like that. I do, and I did. And so it was it was a cumbersome experience. It took a long time, but like, that type of experience is an extension of the love that you have for each other, and it's a shared emotional bond that you have because you have a real relationship. If you don't have a real relationship and you just dating men that are sexually active and laying women down to and fro, then yeah, they're not gonna like you as a virgin. They're gonna be like, oh, this is a lot of trouble. I'm gonna hit it, and then she's gonna be chasing me down. She's gonna be attached and all that stuff. Players don't want you to be attached to them, and they want an enjoyable sexual experience. And those are two things that a virgin sometimes isn't known to offer. It definitely is not an enjoyable experience to have to try it so many times, if that's the case, depending on the man's size. And it's not an enjoyable experience if all you wanted to do was hit it and then she gets attached. So for that reason, virgins have issues because they try to date guys that aren't good enough, basically, that are not good enough and are not in the mindset of monogamy. And so when virgins try to date guys like that, it doesn't turn out well, and the guys end up leaving because they're not enticed by a long, cumbersome session of trying to take your virginity or fit it in, and they're definitely not looking forward to you being so attached to them because they're the only guy you've been with that you keep calling them for inexperienced, sub-exciting sex. So, that's the thing that that only a man who loves you will endure is your exploration of sex and the way that you the way that you have it for the first time. Like, those are things that a guy has to care about you to really want. And I don't think it's a bad thing. I think that a man who cares about you and really wants to be with you is going to be honored, and just he's going to be ecstatic to be the first man you're with and the only guy you're with. He's going to be ecstatic to know that he's the first guy that you've ever cared about that much or ever thought was good enough. So there are two different friends of mine. There are guys who absolutely love the idea of that because they want to be the only man in their woman's life. And then there are guys who just want to lay people down because that's what they do. And virgins are just not a good sales pitch for them. So if you like quality guys, they like virginity. That was a long answer to a short question, but I hope it helps. And believe me, some of y'all virgins, one more thing and I'm done with the virginity thing, but some of y'all virgins think that it's your virginity that's keeping you single, and it's not. There are women who are having sex with every guy that they meet, every guy that says hi to them, every guy that takes them on a date, and they don't have a man. So don't think for 1 minute because you're a virgin and you don't have a man that it's the reason you don't have a man. Because I know women who are having sex with 10 men a month and they still don't have a man, right? Because you can't hook nobody with the ass. It's just not a thing. Like somebody has to really want you. They have to enjoy you. They have to want your spirit, your energy, your vibe, right? It can't just be about, your hole. Some men, all you need is a hole. As long as it's somebody walking around with a hole to put it in, there's some guy running around trying to get it. So, don't sell yourself short by thinking that somehow or another that's the way to get a man, because it's not. And so if you're a virgin and you're thinking about losing your virginity because you're a bit tempted because you feel like it's failing you or you're not getting anywhere with it, don't, because there are women who are having sex with 10 or more men a month and still don't have a man, still can't find a man, and they're running through guys. And good for them. It's their body, it's their prerogative. Yay. If they're not looking for a man, whatever. Who gives a damn? It ain't none of my business how many guys y'all sleep with. It ain't stopping that in my house. Somebody said, how do I remain composed on the job with the guy I dealt with who I found out was a player? I was warned about him but refused to believe it because he didn't show that side of me until after the fact. Well, of course, a guy's not going to show you his shiesty side after the fact. Well, who does that? That's like a dog biting you, like at the pet store. Like you're not gonna go to a pet store to buy a puppy and he's gonna be like, oh, he didn't bite you at the pet store, and you're gonna buy him. You're not gonna buy the dog if he bites you at the pet store, right? You're not gonna lay down with a man if he talks to you like he thinks you're a whore the first time he sees you, or if he whips it out on you. Like, he's not gonna telegraph his intention if he isn't up to nothing. If people warn you, believe them. Why would you go against what you were warned about? Because you thought they were jealous. Is that what I'm almost positive that you probably thought they was jealous. So yeah, they don't want you to date him because they can't have him. But women, y'all need to cut that stuff out with the whole. Sometimes people are not jealous. They really do have concern, and they just trying to let you know that somebody is a shiesty person. You said I was warned about him but refused to believe it. Why would you trust him over the multitude? Like, well, if you don't give up the butt, it doesn't matter what a guy's intention is. People always say, well, what if a guy only wants sex? If you don't give him sex, then it doesn't matter what he wanted. That's all he wanted, and he doesn't get it. Guess what? He didn't get it. He going somewhere else to get it. If he wanted more than sex and you made him wait, he'll stick around anyway. So you're not going to keep him around with sex. And if you just want sex and you give up sex, then that's all you're going to have. So of course he didn't show you that side until after the fact, but you knew better and you didn't do better. So sometimes you just got to take that L, hold that L. And I hate that, but a lot of women have to learn the hard way. And some of y'all need to learn how to learn from other people's mistakes. I learn from other people's mistakes. I ain't got to make every damn mistake in the book. I've seen some people do similar things to me and make a mistake, and I'm going to just not do this shit that they did. And some of y'all have to learn how to do that as well. Subi said, Kev, did you do twin flame research before you were married? No. I started looking into twin flame shortly, like a couple months after I started my YouTube channel, because somebody asked me a question. I like soulmate stuff. Like, you always hear about soulmates, but twin flames is a bit more rare. Said hi. Kathleen Harris said hi. I was in a long distance relationship, but he kept on breaking up with me. He does respond to my text. Is it possible for it to work out? No, not if he keeps breaking up with you. It means he keeps losing interest and he's probably being distracted by people in person. If you can't move to a city anytime soon, then it's kind of a waste of time being in an on again, off again, long distance relationship. Just try to be friends until you can get to where he is and maybe you can make something of it. Um, Brittany Lewis, thank you for the $10 super chat. I appreciate you. She said, I'm dating a guy who is a Muslim and I am a Christian. Great guy. We speak about the future. He says he's okay with having a Christian household. I feel like it will change. He will change later. Advice, please. Well, if you don't trust him, then that's a whole different topic, right? We're not talking about mixing religions. We're talking about if you don't trust him. Um, so I guess you got to figure out how sincere he is about that. Until then, like I said, I'm not a particularly religious guy. I used to go to church every Sunday. And back in 2009, 2010, from 2006 to 2010, I didn't miss very many Sundays, right? So I had a space in time when I was very, very Christian, right? I was a backsliding Christian still. I was doing my thing, but I wasn't too far off. I wasn't too bad to go to church on Sunday and feel like I did something right. I don't smoke or drink. So, my list of sins has been, very basic, fornication and fornication is basically it. This is all I was doing. So I was washing off the fornication every Sunday. So I'm not telling you as a religious man, I'm telling you as a person who believes I'm spiritual and not like trendy spiritual now. Like I've always been this way. I don't think that God is as petty as we make him out to be. The Bible also said that the believing wife sanctifies the unbelieving husband, right? So, and first of all, Muslims believe in Allah is God. Some people don't realize that Allah just means God. They be like, F Allah. And like, you realize you just said F God because it's pronounced in Arabic. You think because it's Hebrew somehow or another that you just the Hebrew God. Allah is God. So, for a Christian and a Muslim to get together, you're actually serving the same God. The methodology is a bit different, but you're serving the same God. And so I think that he can look past, but who am I? I'm not speaking for God. Somebody better be really pissed off. But Allah means God, and God is Allah, and Allah is God. So I don't think that, me personally, I don't think that mixing those two religions is that bad. I just think that you need to have an understanding, and if you don't feel like he's been sincere about the understanding you think you're developing, then that can be a problem. You have to make sure that you have the same idea about how to raise that kid, not just religiously, but like how you plan to rear the child and things of that nature. Those are very important things. But you got to develop some trust. Maybe you have to have this conversation a few more times. Maybe you have to, exhaust all angles of this. Do the what if scenario. Write down some questions. What if this? What if that? Figure out how okay with a Christian household he is. Because he could be bullcrapping, or he could just think he's okay with it because he's not being challenged with it right now. So you have to find a way to challenge his mind at the moment, and maybe just play a hypothetical game. What if this? What if that? And make it a long conversation. Try to figure out where his mind is really when it comes to the things that actually happens when you have children. And if you haven't had any children and you don't know that process, talk to some parents and talk to a few parents about the things that come up when you're dealing with children. Discipline. What we gonna call God in the house? As far as what you're saying, how we're gonna pray, who we're gonna pray to, if we can pray to everybody. You got to figure all of that stuff out before you have a kid. So don't get pregnant, and don't marry him until you have a complete understanding of what he's doing. And I think his ability to get married in a Christian ceremony will probably be indicative of his ability to be okay with a Muslim, a Christian household. But again, I wouldn't advise washing him of his religion. I just think that you guys need a mutual understanding about how to raise that kid. I hope that helps, but it's a bit that's a wide question because I don't have all the context, and I don't know why you don't trust him. D Jones, thank you so much for the super chat. Said, I've been dating this guy for 7 months and now we've been through some tough times. He told me that he had a girl, but they were breaking up. Now it's like we are paused. What does that mean? It means he's been cheating on his girlfriend for the last 7 months with you. You've been the other woman, and there ain't no pause. Like what if he had been like, stop trying to date these guys that are in situations like, I'm not hating on you, D Jones, but I'm just saying, when a guy tells you that he's, anytime I've heard about a guy saying, oh, well, I'm with a girl, but it's going bad, we about to break up, we in the process. It don't take no damn process. All it takes is one phone call. I've broken up with people. It takes one damn phone call to be like, hey, listen, this ain't working. Right? Man gonna break up for 7 months. How the hell is he? Is he literally spelling it out? Every 2 weeks he's texting her a new letter. You know, L, 2 weeks later E, 2 weeks later T, 2 weeks later apostrophe, 2 weeks later S. How the hell? How does it take 7 months to break up with somebody? And he say, "Oh, we on pause." Pause insinuates that y'all still going. If I pause my video game, I intend to play it again. So it means that you're the other woman and he doesn't respect you, and you've wasted your time, and you've given him a lot that he can't give back to you. And unfortunately, you got to take the L. Please make better decisions. Only get with guys who are completely emotionally available and physically available. Yeah, he's been playing with you, and that sucks. But you put yourself in that position because you knew he was in the situation, and you knew he wasn't quite out of it. And you got to make sure that these guys are all the way out of their situations before you give yourselves to them, because they won't. They're not going to break up with the girl because they got some butt from you. They're just gonna keep getting butt from you if you require them to break up with their girl or require a relationship. And if you've never been a man's girlfriend and you start giving it up to him, you're not gonna become his girlfriend, because what's the point of that? I'm not gonna obligate myself if I don't need to obligate myself for some sex. Not if I'm a guy who has a girlfriend already. I'm already getting attitude. I'm already got all these emotions I gotta juggle that's not mine, and I'm gonna do that to you too when you already giving it to me. No, I'm not gonna do that. So that's the thing that you guys got to worry about, is just making sure that you don't get bait and switched. Somebody said, what do you think about a guy? Let me make sure I don't get no more text messages. Okay. Somebody said, what do you think about a guy that we both had an emotional connection? He acts hot and cold sometimes. I don't hear from him, but he tells me he wants something serious with me. Well, you need to tell him what it requires. You need to tell him what that ride costs. Right, because clearly he didn't know what it costs to be with you. He doesn't know what the cost of ownership is, right? Like when you start looking at, trying to be with somebody, everybody comes with the cost. Everybody comes at a cost, right? Not like we're property, but everybody has things that they require. And if you require communication, you require consistency, then you better make sure that that's known, or tell him that without those things, you can't have something serious with me, because that's what I require. If you don't make it very, very clear that that's what you require, you will never get it, and you will always be discontenting your relationship if it grows to a relationship, or it will die because you'll lose interest, or he'll lose interest because it's too much distance between you. Somebody said, I've been seeing this guy for 3 weeks. We're taking things slow and we have good chemistry, but how long should I wait to see if we can be exclusive? I tend to naturally rush. I don't know, 3 weeks is a bit early if you can be exclusive, but it depends on how long you talk to him or how much you talk to him. If you're talking to a guy every day for about a month and a half, man, y'all should figure it out by then. I think a month of talking is pretty good. I've known guys get new girlfriends after 2 or 3 days. I mean, it just depends, though. Like if we're doing astrology, like cancers take a really long time. If you're talking to a cancer guy, you might have to talk to him for months before he even thinks about a relationship. It just depends. So I figure out how long it's taken him to enter relationships after talking to a girl in the previous years, and then kind of gauge where you go from there. But you're not going to force him to do anything too much outside of his realm of normal. Say because having children with him is not an option if we don't. No, absolutely, Brittany Lewis. Again, you can't have children with him if y'all don't come to an understanding at all. And you're welcome, D. Jones. Appreciate your question. Somebody says, I hate to say it, but I feel like, hold on, let me read your shit because I think my wife done blocked you before. Wouldn't get much more serious. Well, actually, Jay Greenspan say, I hate to say it, but I feel like you women need to know I would date a single mom if I was getting laid, but I wouldn't get much more serious than that. Yeah, he just sounds like kind of an asshole, but I understand where he's coming from. Again, he's one of those guys who wants sex. He wants to lay women down, and that's about it. He does not want the responsibility of raising another man's kids, and you do have to be a special guy to want to raise another man's kids. And so when you have kids with men who are unfit, when you pick these guys because of their swag, because of their clothes, because of their attitude, because of their voice, whatever dumb reason that you've picked a guy for, and not that all y'all picking dumb reasons, but y'all know who I'm talking about. Yeah, I don't know. You might be a little bit of an asshole, but I get you. I understand where you're coming from. I'm not saying you're a bad person. I'm just saying that it's a bit of, you're kind of an asshole if you're playing with a single mom's feelings for some ass. But if you got an understanding with a single mom that y'all can just have sex, then you're not an asshole. But if you're gonna play with her feelings for the sex, Jay Greenspan, then you're kind of an asshole. Back to what I was saying. I don't even remember what the hell I was saying. What the hell was I saying? I was in a good point too. See, I was somewhere good, and then I just went off with it. Man, I don't even know what I was talking about. He said I'm not an asshole though. Hey, I don't know, you a little tiny bit. Do all men have side chicks? No. Come on, all men can't even find a girlfriend. Where do y'all get this stuff from? Like, no, Queen Butterfly said, all men have side chicks. No, some men can't even find one woman to like them or lay down with them. It's not, no, every guy doesn't have the option or the pick, his pick of women. That's just not how that works. Some men haven't been on a date in months and are very sad about it. And then other men are going on multiple dates a week and very happy about it. So it just depends. If you're dating a bunch of guys with side chicks, it's because you're probably into guys who are into a lot of women. You're choosing men who have their pick of women because you are dating a guy for his status, his profile, his swag. All of these things are cool. They are attractive, but they don't allude to him having character or integrity or morals. And men with side chicks and hiding side chicks are lacking character, integrity, and morals. So yeah, you're dating the wrong types of guys for the wrong types of reasons. If every guy you've dated had a side chick, I can't juggle my wife's emotions without fucking pulling my hair out sometimes. So I can imagine trying to juggle two women's emotions. And my wife's pretty cool for the most part. So I don't want to be involved in two emotional relationships, right? Yeah, between my kids and my wife, I don't got room for like a side chick. I've been watching that damn what's that single married sister wives and all of that stuff, and that stuff is cool, but like I can't imagine having 4 women mad at me at one time for not doing the dishes. I just can't. I wouldn't even know what the hell to do with myself. So no, that's not for everybody, and every man don't have side chicks. I don't want to juggle everybody's emotions. Let me see. Somebody said I'm a Cancer woman, and I'm the same way. I got to make sure I'm making the right decision. Yeah, no, Cancers are very slow. Were you talking about the type of man? She said, I guess somebody was confused. She said, you were talking about the type of man some of us choose to lay down with as a single mom. Okay, yeah. So, like, if you're a single mom, you got to make sure that the guys that you are dating and entertaining, thank you, because I lost that point. The guys that you are entertaining and dating have an intent to be with you and have a respect and honor for your children until they get to and grow to love them as well. Like, it takes a special man. So when you are laying down with these guys before you become parents, if you are a woman in this room watching this chat and you are not a parent yet, and you got a guy because you think he's sexy, or he's a roughneck, or he's thugged out, you like his voice, you like his swagger, you like that he got style, like a lot of people want him and you got him, so you happy about that. All of those things are cool, but if that dude does not have the propensity to be a good father, if he doesn't have the respect for you, right, to be a good mate or to be a good co-parent or a husband, right? If he does not have the responsibility, if he's too narcissistic to care about anybody else outside of himself, trapping him with a baby isn't going to help him become a better person, right? Some of these guys are just unfit. And if you have sex with unfit men for fun and you have a baby, then you want a good man to come back and raise the baby. And first of all, most men, as you can see, Jay, whatever dude's name was, he's just not into it. He'll have sex with a single mom, which is understandable, but he won't be with a single mom. That's his choice. I just hope that he didn't mean he would use single moms for sex without letting them know that that's what was going on. So I say he's an asshole for that, if that's his intent. But if that's not his intent, he's having a mutual understanding. That's cool. But that's why y'all got to pick a good man the first time around. That's why a woman's maturation process can't be after she gets ran through by a bunch of dumbass dudes that aren't fit for her. That it cannot be the maturation process for a woman. And it is, unfortunately, everybody, a whole phase in college. So you go through your whole phase in college, right? And then you mess around with all these guys, and you might find out that you like one of these guys, or you could get pregnant. You get pregnant in your whole phase, right? You having a good time. You get pregnant in your whole phase. You find a guy, he ain't really into it. He's not really taking care of the baby because you didn't vet him as a father. You only vet him as a potential bed warmer. You vetted him as somebody who could blow your back out, not somebody who could raise your damn kids. And so when you wasn't looking at the right thing and you wasn't measuring the right things or the right tools in the man, and then you have a kid with him and he turns out to be a deadbeat, offers nothing. Now you got to go find a good man to be a father figure for your son or your daughter. Now you got to go find somebody else to raise them. And it doesn't always work. And most men are not the types of guys that want to come in and raise financially. We always talk about these finances. Some guys don't have the finances to come in and raise nobody else's son or daughter, right? They don't have the capacity to love. Maybe they got kids already. Maybe they're a bit emotionally detached anyway. Maybe they need a lot of personal time or space, right? So it really chops down the amount of men that you have that are viable candidates once you start having kids with unfit men. So don't have sex with unfit men for fun. Don't just do what you want with your body just because. At least have a rhyme or reason. At least go whore around with guys that are respectful, with guys that have integrity, with guys that are responsible. There are enough decent guys that you can give some to that at least raise their kid when they come around. You don't have to give it to everybody, and you don't have to be at the club looking for the guys with the big rims just so you can give them some so you can look good in a nice car for a night. Like, y'all really have to start paying attention to a man's character before you lay down with him, because if you get pregnant, you are stuck with that. That's your baby's daddy, and somebody else is going to have to come and raise your kid because that dude's not sticking around. So when Beyonce talk about she needed a soldier, and all these women come out with these songs dedicated to these thugged out men, and y'all sing along, and y'all in the club, and y'all talking about your roughnecks, I get it. But these men aren't raising their babies. They going to jail. They getting killed, or they just leaving y'all women. They talk about it ain't mine, it ain't mine, it ain't mine. First thing come out their mouth, it ain't mine, it ain't mine. Did you have a vasectomy? No. How you know it ain't yours? I know. How you know? I just know she a hoe. Like, and that's what y'all dealing with. Y'all don't watch enough Maury Povich. I think that all of y'all that's laying down with these guys should watch way more Maury Povich. Because I tell you what, Maury Povich had me calling women up asking if I had babies that I didn't know about. So y'all need to figure that out, man. Because Maury will show you exactly what it's like to be a woman who cannot find a father for her child. And I hope that nobody goes through that. But it happens. Voxy likes, thank you for that $10 super chat. I really appreciate you. Yeah, so y'all just need to calm it down, man. Everybody need to be cool and start protecting themselves. Start thinking about yourself. Oh my gosh, Chris Phillips said every single mom is not a dumb hoe who sleeps around with trash N-words. I know that. I'm not talking about every single mom. Damn, can I just listen? When I make a point to talk to people, especially about hoeing around, I'm talking to the women who are either hoeing around or considering hoeing around. I'm not talking to the women who just have kids. Why would I assume every single mom is just a hoe who sleeps around with trash N-words? It only got flagged because you said the N-word word. I mean, anytime somebody say the N-word, they don't show your comment because they call me N-word till me go back to Africa all the time in my life. So the N-word is a flag. Anyway, no, Chris Phillips, I completely understand where you're coming from. But I'm not saying that every single mom is somebody who slept around with trash N-words. I'm saying that a lot of single moms is somebody who slept around with trash N-words, and that's why they single, and that's why they moms. So they need to calm themselves down and show some more restraint. But no, every single mom is not a woman who did something stupid or slept around with a bunch of guys. I'm just saying for you guys, for you women who are in your whole phases and y'all proud and y'all getting y'all Amber Rose on, I get it. But Amber Rose is getting laid down in Bentleys. She's getting bent over Phantoms. She's getting laid down in mansions across this country. Y'all getting laid down in somebody's mama's basements that don't got lights. Y'all getting laid down in the back of cars that don't start. Y'all getting banged in somebody's mama's house. And then the guy's not taking care of his baby. Right, that's what I'm talking about. So no, not every single mom is a hoe. I know that. That should be a given. But a lot of single mothers are making bad decisions, and are single mothers because they made bad decisions. And a lot of people are making bad decisions right now, and they're not mothers. And I would like to stop them. So I'm not trying to insult single mothers, but it's something that needs to be said, and so I'm gonna say it. Man, y'all got me ranting over here. Let me see what the hell going on. Somebody said I can attest to some people switch up on you after a baby. I'm just talking about a Christian man who faithfully goes to church. Absolutely. Some people definitely switch up on you after a baby. I got about 10 minutes. I usually go to sleep about 1 o'clock. I got to go to work tomorrow, but I go to sleep about 1 o'clock anyway. So I got about 10 minutes. Let me see. Somebody said we're careful about who we let into our homes. We should be careful about who we let into our bodies. Donna Glover. That's an amazing point, and it's absolutely true. Shit, you don't even let nobody in your car. Like sleeping around with a bunch of random people from clubs is almost like picking up a hitchhiker. I mean, it's literally almost worse than picking up a hitchhiker because you're not guaranteed sex with a hitchhiker, but you picking people up randomly just because y'all attracted to you. You're basically just picking up a hitchhiker. There's too many STDs going around out here. I talk to a lot of women who have STDs that they cannot get rid of, and they come to me and they trying to figure out if they can ever have love again because they have STDs, and guys don't want them with STDs, right? Like permanent STDs. So I speak to people who have had these phases in life when they were having so much fun that they didn't protect themselves, and trust me, the cleanup is always worse, right? And so some of y'all so focused on having fun that y'all not protecting yourself. Love, thank you so much for the $5 super chat. Somebody says, should I be open about being an older virgin when we first meet? Like, that's not something you share on the first, I don't know if that's first date conversation. It's second or third date conversation. And I think I explained this on my last live. It's second or third date conversation because, first of all, if a guy doesn't know you at all, you don't have a real rapport with him, you don't have a real, he doesn't have a real interest for you. He's measuring whether or not you are worth whatever trouble you are worth. If he hasn't known you enough or known you long enough to figure out if he's actually interested in you, if you present to him a challenge that you're a virgin, then he could take it as, well, if nobody's been good enough, why would I be good enough? It could take him out the game because it either means that I'm going to be with you forever to be with you, or I'm not going to be with you. And no guy is going to mentally commit to marrying a woman he just met right now or just today, right? You have to learn a woman and figure out if you like her. So it's not something that you hide or withhold, but it's not first date conversation either. It's more like third date. That way you've been measured enough. He knows if he's interested in you by the third date regardless. But people don't know if they like you after one date or on the first date, on the second date. So you're still measuring each other. But after by the third date, you kind of know. And please don't just, if you have something like that, make sure you're talking to a guy on the phone too between dates. You just don't want to, you just don't want to go on dates for the hell of it and only text about when you're meeting up between that. If you can't get a guy to talk on the phone, then it's likely that he's not going to be very interested in you anyway. A guy who wants a woman will do whatever it takes to keep impressing her, and if that means talking on the phone, he will do it. If you can't keep a guy on the phone, then the likelihood of him sticking around is always a red flag that he might not stick around. And people say, I don't talk on the phone. I don't talk on the phone. Listen, I've known people who can't stand the phone and spend 3 hours on the phone in silence just because that's what their partner requires is on the phone, right? So stop accepting this shit. I'm not a phone person. I'm not a phone person. Just so a guy can get you at a bar before he has to talk to you enough to, think of you as a real person so he can lay you down. Like, it's ridiculous. But no, that's not first date conversation. Second or third date, if it's going well and there seems to be some interest, maybe you can share. I got 7 minutes left. Somebody Somebody says, I'm very ambitious, independent. I'm a very ambitious, independent woman. Feedback from ex-boyfriend has been that they did not, they feel like they did not need me. What actions can I take so that the man in my life doesn't feel insignificant? You can be you can be ambitious and you can be independent, but you can't appear to be emotionally independent, cold, or distant. I think that's the thing about a lot of women who are very ambitious and independent do so from a place of being a dominant personality. Well, when you are like that, sometimes you can be more task oriented to people oriented, and it feels like it's hard to connect with you emotionally. A man needs to think that like women want to feel wanted, men need to feel needed. Women need to feel wanted, men want to feel needed, and that's the bottom line. So if a man doesn't feel like you need him emotionally and you don't need him financially, what is his purpose? What can he do for you? Men already know, because we are men, we know the value of sex is low. And you cannot sustain a relationship with just having good sex, right? And so we never feel very, very confident as men. We're not going to feel like, oh, the relationship is great. She'll be with me forever because I'm piping her down well. We have to feel like she needs us in a way that she can't get from anybody else. And so finances help because it ties you together, but emotionally is sometimes what a man needs from a successful woman. Successful women often have trouble being vulnerable. Like, they will not let themselves be vulnerable because they tie their success to their identity. And sometimes you have to separate that and allow a man to feel like, at least emotionally, you're vulnerable to him. A lot of ambitious women they despise vulnerability. They don't want to need anybody for anything. And men do require vulnerability from women. Need it. Like, what am I here for? What do I do? You know what I'm saying? So I understand exactly what that feels like, but it's not about finances at all. Sometimes it's about your emotional vulnerability. You have to learn how to share yourself spiritually with a guy and emotionally with a guy. And if you're a bit closed off that way, then you can definitely make people feel insignificant. Hope that answers your question. We got 4 minutes left because I'm really getting off here at 1 o'clock. I'm getting better with my time management. I hope y'all realize that. 4 minutes left. Big bro Kev giving it to a straight no chaser. I try. She said, the advice is good if it hurts your feelings a little. Oh man, listen, I ain't trying to hurt nobody's feelings, but it might be a little bit true. It might be the thing that you needed that you've been in denial about. The goal is never to hurt people's feelings, but sometimes you got to shock people. You got to pour a bucket of cold water on somebody. To get their mind right. I'd rather do it before reality does it to a person. I try to do it gracefully, but I think I've been a little ranty tonight. I don't know why. I'm just feeling a little up there. So disregard my tone. Somebody said, Kev, just found your channel. You're awesome. When are you on again? I don't know, man. I'm a bit random when it comes to this. A video will be coming out in a couple of days. So that'd be cool. I think that'd be about how to remain happy when you're surrounded by happy couples and you're not happy or in a relationship. So that'll be what that's about. We got 3 minutes left. Can you tell if a guy's not into you or just doesn't think he has a shot with you? We're both athletes in university, but I'm a good 2 inches taller. He might just feel like he didn't have a shot with you. That could be possible. I don't know. I think that you have to just build a rapport with somebody. You can kind of feel it out. But if you're not talking to somebody, you're not making conversation, not getting on the phone with them, not having lunch with them or whatever, it's very difficult to tell. You're just guessing about how things might go between you if you got with each other. So I would need a bit more context. I hope that helps. What do guys who broke up with you, went ghost, or decided that you weren't really interested, that they weren't really interested, still, why do they still follow up on you, follow you on social media and watch your stories on Instagram? Because they're still attracted, and maybe they're not done with the fantasy of being with you. And sometimes a guy might regret it and just not know how to express it. But he still doesn't have anything more to offer you, so he doesn't reach out. Or he thinks you wouldn't want him to reach out because you should be upset with him, which you should. So that type of thing happens. How long is it to wait for a relationship? How long to wait for a relationship title? I don't know. I don't know. I feel like if you're having sex with a guy, then you should have a title. So write down now yesterday if you had been having sex with him. That's just ridiculous. You're not gonna get a relationship title if you're acting like you're in a relationship. Um, she said, somebody said I need that video because I'm single and rolling my eyes at all the Instagram couples. Yeah, them hashtag relationship goals to get on everybody damn nerves for real. So that will be the next video. How to remain. I don't know what I'll title it, but how to remain happy when you're sad, lonely, or depressed, and looking at happy couples. I don't know how I'll title it, but that'll be the basic thing. Anything, yes. If you got a question or if you want a phone consultation, phone conversation, a private phone talk, go to girltalkwithguys.com and go to services, talk with Kevhick or email Kevhick. If you want a guaranteed response, you have to go through my website because I get hundreds of, now listen, it's about to be 1 o'clock, so I take a couple extra minutes for this. Okay. For my email policy. If you want to talk to me or if you want to email me, if you want to talk on the phone with me about whatever your situation is, or if you want to email me, you got to go to my website. For emails, if you don't go to my website and you go to Instagram or you just send me a Gmail, there's no guarantee that I'll get back to you because I get hundreds of those things a month. No one stands out. I don't know who really needs it or who's just throwing it out there because they think it's free. And so I really want to help the people who need help, but you got to go through my website to differentiate yourself. People who go through my website always get a response. People who don't go through my website, a lot of them don't ever hear from me because I can't keep up with hundreds of emails. And I mean, there's not enough time in the day for me to answer hundreds of emails for no reason at all. Like I have a wife, I have 2 kids, I have a full-time job. I'm not a full-time YouTuber. I'm a part-time YouTuber. So I don't have 6 or 7 hours a day to just answer people's questions for the hell of it. And I got cussed out last week because I was like, well, I expressed that to somebody and I don't think I did. I think she just got my email kickback and was like, well, you shouldn't be charging anybody anything. Well, I'm not about to give nobody 30 minutes of my time for the hell of it 100 times a day. Because that's what I would be doing. I get hundreds of emails, so I can't give 100 people 20 and 30 minutes a day. I would never have time to wipe my ass or watch TV or hang out with my family or watch my baby. So I do have a family, and if you purchase an email through my website, it helps them. If you purchase a private phone conversation through my website, it helps them. But I can't do a lot of that stuff for free just because I have a family. I have obligations of time to my 2 sons. I have to be present. I'm a present father. I play with my sons every day. Like I'm on that. So if you want a guaranteed response, you have to go through my website. If you just send me a Gmail, you'll be one of hundreds and you probably won't stick out. Sorry. Anyway, much love to all you guys. Much love to everybody who joined me in the super chat. I really appreciate it. Like I said, go to my website, www.girltalkwithguys.com. If you need personal advice and you want a guaranteed response, you can purchase an email or a 1-hour phone consultation on my website. If not, if you want to just chit chat and small talk and small pleasantries and stuff like that, you can just hit me on IG. At kevhick24 and I reply to short comments, but if you send a bunch of long stuff, I just won't have time to reply for it. But anyway, hey, I appreciate y'all. Thank you for watching. Y'all have a good night. I'm gonna end stream now, and I think it takes a couple times. Let me see. End stream.